Public Media Sports, Nebraska's home for championship sports, is live from Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln, Nebraska for the 2022 NSAA Girls and Boys Basketball Championships. This afternoon, it's Class C2. It's the girls' title game. Bridgeport taking on Hastings St. Cecilia. And hello again, everybody. I'm Andy Kendi along with Kara Graham. Larry Putney will join us briefly in a minute. But first, let's set this stage for the C2 title game. Let's talk about the newcomers, Bridgeport. They are seeking their first state title in school history, and this is their first appearance in the championship game.
Yeah, it's an exciting opportunity for Bridgeport, and of course, it's going to start with Ruthie and Olivia Loomis-Girdle. Two fantastic players with college recruit opportunities. And then, of course, how will they be defended inside?
Hastings St. Cecilia, on the other hand, well, they're the complete polar opposite in terms of experience. Their fourth straight trip to the championship game.
Yeah, with great senior leadership, too. Bailey Kissinger is the real deal. She lights up the stat sheet in every area, and it'll be very interesting to see how she's defended
It's a great one to start out our second half of Championship Saturday. This is how we started early this morning. Humphrey Lindsay Holy Family wins the title in the D1 girls. Ashlyn Greenwood with a buzzer beater to beat Auburn in the C1 title game. Elkhorn North goes back-to-back in the Class B girls final. And then later tonight, it's Bellevue West and Millard North in the Class A boys final. And we'll finish up tonight with the D2 boys, Parkview Christian and St. Mary's. But up next, it's the C2 girls title game. Hastings St. Cecilia, the Hawkettes, taking on the Bridgeport Bulldogs.
He's way too old to understand this type of work.
Her hairstyle doesn't fit in with our office culture.
That accent is too thick. Customers won't understand.
Why does it even matter what pronoun I use? He, she, they?
In Nebraska, it is illegal to make hiring and other employment decisions based on discriminatory reasons. For more information about illegal employment discrimination and your rights, contact the Nebraska Equal Opportunity Commission, 800-642-6112.
Sarpy County offers a mix of things to see and do, and it's just minutes from Omaha. For sports lovers, an Omaha Storm Chasers baseball game, or Union Omaha soccer match at Warner Park. Be challenged with a round of golf at one of our courses. The outdoors is alive at Fontenelle Forest. Or the malls and boutiques will keep shoppers busy. Whatever you're searching for, Sarpy County has you covered. Go sarpy.com to plan your next adventure.
By having good sportsmanship, we recognize the hard work and commitment of all teams participating. How we act when we compete also shows who we are as people.
Sportsmanship is going the extra mile to earn the respect of everyone in attendance.
Sportsmanship shouldn't just be on the court, it should also be in the stands and everywhere you go.
Good sportsmanship makes competing in any event more fun, but it comes from more than just the athlete. It comes from parents and coaches too.
Welcome back to the Pinnacle Bank Arena for the Class C2 State Championship. I'm Larry Putney. You know, Andy mentioned earlier about Hastings St. Cecilia having been here before. In fact, this is their fourth consecutive trip into the finals, but in different classes. They started out a couple of years ago in Class C2, winning the title in 2019. They won it again in 2020 in C2. Then last year bumped up to C1, finished runner-up. They're back in C2 and looking for another title. Let's go to the table to Rich Broderson for introductions.
On behalf of the Nebraska School Activities Association and its member schools, welcome to the 2022 NSAA Girls State Basketball Championships. The NSAA is proud to recognize its premier corporate partners, U.S. Bank, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, the Nebraska Chiropractic Physicians Association, and Nebraska Orthopedic Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats to honor America as Aubrey Falter of Lincoln Southwest High School sings our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we won.
Good afternoon and welcome to Pinnacle Bank Arena for today's Class C2 Girls Championship game between the 26-1 Bridgeport Bulldogs and the 25-2 Hastings St. Cecilia Hawkettes. Now let's meet the teams. First, the non-starters for Bridgeport. Number 3, Alexis Hill. Number 5, Samantha Hill. Number 10, Riley Carrier. Number 11, Paige Schmuck. Number 13, Megan Klein. Number 30, Ellie Klein. And number 42, Grace Dean. And now the non-starters for Hastings St. Cecilia. Number 2, Lindsay Parr. Number 3, Izzy Coles. Number 10, Chloe Rosso. Number 12, Addie DeMuth. Number 13, Ryan Samaka. Number 15, Grace Ganatra. Number 20, Brooke Bolke. Number 21, Abby Mushalek. And number 30, Hannah Schneider. And now it's time for the starting lineups, and we begin with the Bulldogs of Bridgeport. A 5'10" sophomore, number 0, Olivia Loomis-Girdle. A 5'6" sophomore, number 1, Brooklyn Moorman. A 5'7" senior, number 2, Natalie Keenan-Virgil. A 5'5" junior, number 22, Mackenzie Likas. And a 6'3" junior, number 23, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. The assistant coach for the Bulldogs is Amber Dean, and the head coach for Bridgeport is Dave Coolin. And now here's a starting lineup for the Hawkettes of Hastings St. Cecilia. A 5'3" senior, number 1, Erin Sheehy. A 5'6" senior, number 4, Bailey Kissinger. A 5'9" senior, number 5, Shay Butler. A 5'8" sophomore, number 11, Tatum Greekak. And a 6'2" senior, number 24, Addie Kierkegaard. The assistant coach for the Hawkettes is Rachel Sheldon, and the head coach for Hastings St. Cecilia is Greg Barrett. The officials for today's Class C2 championship game are D. Brian O'Neill, Jared Drager, and Matt Hager. The bench official is Mr. Jake Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play basketball!
Let's play some basketball, shall we? C2 Girls Championship game. Bridgeport Bulldogs taking on Hastings St. Cecilia, and should be an entertaining game. Bridgeport coming from the west. I was talking to some of the kids before the game. They say Bridgeport west side is the best side. We'll see about that. And Hastings St. Cecilia is located obviously in Hastings. Bridgeport about a 6-hour drive, by the way. And how did they get here? Well, here you go. Hastings St. Cecilia knocking off Elkhorn Valley, beating Crofton, while Bridgeport beating Sutton and Oakland Craig. It's Bridgeport making their first finals appearance, taking on Hastings St. Cecilia. The 4th straight trip to the finals for the Hawkettes. Well, this should be fun, Kara. I'm very interested to see the Girdle sisters, Olivia, the sophomore, Ruthie, the junior, for Bridgeport. A lot of buzz around those two young ladies to see what kind of game they bring to the championship.
Yeah, I think you'll be really impressed with the way, multiple ways that they're able to score. And I'm excited to see 6'3" versus 6'2" for the first time in this tournament.
No kidding.
Lots of size down low.
Inside, that's Brooklyn Moorman with the miss.
Bridgeport in an extended zone. They're going to know where Kissinger is at all times.
Yep, that's Kissinger, number 4. A senior averaging 17 a game. Inside they go to Shea Butler, who dishes off to the basket. Adeline Kierkegaard.
Great pass. Kierkegaard will be active all games. Senior that scores 10 points a game.
Olivia Loomis-Girdle. They're going to say she walked. Be interesting to see, especially in the early going, Kara, how they handle the pressure of the state championship. Here you got a team that's been here 4 years in a row playing on this stage, and another team that's never been there before.
Absolutely. It sure helps Bridgeport in that scenario to have a couple of really good players in the 2 Loomis-Girdle sisters.
There's an early turnover. So number 0 is sophomore Olivia Loomis-Girdle. Inside for the bucket.
And that's what Olivia does so well. She's such a good shooter from the outside. You have to extend on her, and then she can take you off the dribble and finish.
A foul from behind, Natalie Keenan-Virgil.
St. Cecilia early on doing a great job against that 3-2 zone, getting to the middle.
Here's Olivia Loomis-Girdle, sophomore, 5'10". So she's got the handle and the size.
Strong and athletic. There's Kissinger.
Kissinger, a strong move to the basket. Kissinger, one of the long lines of Kissingers at the St. Cecilia. Inside, that goes to Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
It's a great job on the press break.
And there we have, that's Adeline Kierkegaard went down. You hate to see that.
Check it in for Hastings St. Cecilia, number 13, Ryan Sabaka.
Kierkegaard trying to get up and tough it out. She seems to be in a lot of pain.
It happened away from the ball. I don't know if she twisted or landed funny. Ooh, just feel for Adeline Kierkegaard. Senior averaging 10 a game, had the first bucket of the game for the Hawkettes. She limps off. She fell down. Oh yeah, she fell down in the lane. Well, you just hope for the best and hope it's not going to cause her to miss the entire championship game here. So the Hawkettes trying to regroup here. 4-4 early on in this Class C2 championship game. Big block by Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
Yeah, she came into the state tournament with 84 blocks and continues to add to that total.
And Ruthie's a junior listed at 6'3". And another turnover.
That 2-3 defense with Ruthie Loomis-Girdle in the middle. Very difficult to attack that lane with that size in the middle.
And St. Cecilia will take it back. Kissinger.
What a finish. St. Cecilia's so good with this press. They try and lure you into dribbling into a trap and then cover deep middle to get a steal.
And an interesting strategic decision as we look at Kissinger's drive. Look at this strong move.
Splits the defense, may have even gotten fouled. Finishes well with the left.
But the trap, an interesting decision, especially going against a team who's never been here before, trying to hurry him up.
Absolutely. And St. Cecilia loves to pressure anyway. Force you into making poor decisions. Again, they're well coached. They've been here before.
Kissinger drives, shoots off the front end. This is St. Cecilia's 12th trip in the girls' state championship game. It's 4th most in Nebraska history. As you see, Olivia Loomis-Girdle with a bucket. That's 6'6". And look at that, another turnover.
That is a pretty move by Olivia.
So, Bailey Kissinger, 4 of the 6 as we're locked up early going at PBA.
Sometimes you just have to be a little stronger, go a little farther, be a little tougher. This past year was a test to see if we could step up and weather the storm together. We are committed to push a little harder, go a little farther, lean into the challenge, and be tougher together. Aurora and you.
This is a growing corn plant. It's not battery-powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change. Reducing 46% of carbon emissions and producing clean-burning ethanol. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
Early on, 6-6 in the Class C2 championship game at Pinnacle Bank Arena. Just a reminder, you can connect with us on Facebook and Twitter, add a comment, or catch up on the latest Nebraska sports info. Make sure to like Nebraska Public Media Sports and Big Red Wrap-Up and join the conversation. Let's head on over to Larry Putney, who may have an update on Addie Kierkegaard.
Yeah, Addie Kierkegaard is back in the tunnel with the 2 trainers in a lot of pain as she walked very gingerly off the court and into the tunnel. They have her laying back in the back tunnel and checking that right knee, checking for, as we've seen so many times, the stability of the knee, but no report on how it is right now, but she's certainly in a lot of pain still.
Thanks, Larry. Did not look good as she hobbled off the court. You'll wish for the best for the senior Addie Kierkegaard. Her teammates in a battle early on. Butler blocked by Ruthie Loomis Girdle. I have a feeling we're going to say that name quite a bit. Can we shorten it to RLG? For brevity's sake.
Just so good at staying straight up.
You see so many guys, girls, whatever, foul in that situation, but she's got a nice ability and good body control.
She did the same thing right there as Kissinger tried to earn a foul. She stayed straight up, was able to get the ball. And her sister to the rack.
Nice move. Can't finish. Aaron Sheehy, number 1. That's Tatum Kreekak.
Bridgeport loves to extend this zone, try and force you into dribbling right into their shot blocker.
That's Kissinger. They're going to call her for 1 extra step. So 4 turnovers in the early going for Hastings St. Cecilia. Coming in with a record of 25-2. Bridgeport 26-1 on the year. Their only loss to Adams Central, who we saw at the state tournament as well. They made it all the way to the semifinals.
Yes, Adams Central found a way to beat both these teams this year.
Right.
Great lob pass.
Inside, Ruthie Loomis Girdle.
You could see them give each other eye contact there. And the great lob pass inside, catch and finish.
Well, we mentioned Adams Central. They made it to the semifinal, knocked out by Scott in the Class B tournament. Scott just got knocked off by Elkhorn North earlier this afternoon. But that just shows you what kind of schedule some of these teams play. It doesn't matter what class you're going to play the best. As you look at the entry pass to Ruthie Loomis Girdle.
Great pass, catch, kept the ball really high. Good finish. You can see why she's being recruited.
Both these teams, though, schedule very difficult slates of games, and that only helps come this time of year.
Yeah, it's so important that they play a tough schedule in order to see a lot of different things, so that you know what you know, beating up on teams by 30 every night, it might be fun for a minute, but it doesn't prepare you for Pinnacle.
And that's going to be a turnover. So, as expected, I mean, this is you know, as you take a look, Addie Kierkegaard, oh, you just feel for her on her senior year championship game.
It truly
it breaks
is
your
just
heart.
devastating. Every single time, neither team wants to see that.
Right.
Obviously, first and foremost, thinking about that kid and her quick recovery as she's going to be playing volleyball at Concordia, but also how it affects this team and their ability to win without her on the court. Just so tough.
Kierkegaard at 10 points, 11 rebounds in last year's state final, so she's a huge loss for the Hawkettes as you see Loomis Girdle with a bucket.
Yeah, she is close to average to double-double all year as a senior. Just so tough to see that.
So how will the Hawkettes adjust here? As we see again, an infraction stepping on
just
the
a little
sideline.
hesitation. Killer crossover for Olivia Loomis Girdle.
We've seen time and time again the state tournament kids stepping on that sideline. Andy Markowski kind of told us some of it has to do with the different style and the different three-point line, and that's a three ball by Ellie Klein. That's an 8-0 run, not a three ball, it was a 2. But yeah, the three-point line extends everything, and so kids kind of don't have their bearings appropriately, and they mean to step out of bounds. It just happens.
Right, and those first 2 games, I think kids were shooting from further out than they normally would for that reason.
They look down.
There's one right there.
Yeah, you see the college three-point line, and you just think that that's the three-point line, where the high school one is the one in white. I mean, you can still shoot from beyond the red line. You're just each game doesn't matter. It's still gonna be 3 points.
Strong move by Ruthie.
Basket. Ruthie Loomis Girdle with the bucket for the baseline. 14-6 Bridgeport. Who needs experience, right?
Absolutely. You just need great players.
Yeah. 10 seconds to go, first quarter of play. Butler, floater, inside, basket, Ryan Sabatka with the hoop, much needed for the Hawkettes as they pull to within 6.
Huge rebound for Sabatka. Great finish with her left hand.
But the Bulldogs lead the Hawkettes by 6 after 1.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
What do you think about going to college?
I'm kind of scared.
I feel nervous a little bit. That's kind of a tough one. I'm not really sure yet.
I'm excited for college.
How are you going to pay for it?
To be honest, I don't really know.
That's actually a really good question.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
It may be small, but this little bean fuels power. It powers a food industry as a source of protein. It's a fuel that powers diesel engines while reducing emissions. It powers a state economy and bottom lines. And it powers the rest of the world as a Nebraska export. Yeah, it may be small, but we're finding more ways for this little bean to power Nebraska.
Bridgeport Bulldogs, it's a sister act, Olivia and Ruthie Loomis Girdle, and they've been a dominant force all season long.
Yeah, they're so balanced, the two of them, looking for each other, able to finish inside. Olivia able to drive and get to the hoop. They have 12 of Bridgeport's 14 points.
That's 6 apiece so far, and the other developing storyline to keep an eye on is who, as you take a look at the numbers from the dynamic duo, look at that. Almost 40 points together combined per game. Impressive. But as we move forward with no Addie Kierkegaard, she was going to be assigned to Ruthie Loomis Girdle. So who's going to mix and match, and how are you going to stop big number 23 in purple?
Right, so now does St. Cecilia try and find a double team to come down and get Ruthie. That last possession where she scored, they played very physical against her.
Got to pick your spots. Right there was a foul on Ellie Klein. So Butler will head to the free throw line for a couple of freebies.
That was a great fake by Butler to get her off her feet.
In and out.
St. Cecilia needs to score in order to get into their press.
As Grace Dean checks in for the Bulldogs. And it swirls in. No press this time.
Nope, getting back on defense. Straight man-to-man and helping inside. Basically double teaming.
Yeah, you see both kids, 5 and 13, doubling down. Sabatka and Butler.
Yeah, we call that sandwich inside.
A Hawkette sandwich right there. And it works this time, at least, on that possession. Butler from the free throw line. Rebound, Ruthie.
Again, Bridgeport is just content to let them have that shot. Just don't want them getting any deeper in the paint. And there goes Olivia. Defense converged that time and made that shot very difficult. Great job by St. Cecilia.
Kissinger underneath. Too hard off the glass. Rebound, St. Cecilia off the foot of Butler. Butler wanted her over the back call, didn't get it.
Great cut by Kissinger, trying to get into the paint, get deep to the basket, but just the presence of 6'3" Ruthie Loomis-Girdle makes it a difficult layup to make.
Brooklyn Mormon, #1.
St. Cecilia basically daring Grace Dean to take that shot. She does. Just off.
So much attention to Loomis-Girdle's as sisters. It's almost as if they're begging the other kids to, daring them to make a play.
St. Cecilia is rebounding very well, which is going to be crucial for them today.
Try a 3-ball there, and it rattles in. Erin Sheehy with the 3-ball. It's a 2-point game.
Another senior showing that she's been here. She can handle the pressure.
Olivia Loomis-Girdle answers with a bucket of her own.
That is a pretty lefty stroke by the sophomore.
Good effort by Grace Dean. Kissinger blocked by Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Here comes the Bulldogs. Stop, pop off the rim. St. Cecilia with the board.
What a block. Haley Kissinger is very good and unable to get the shot off down there.
16-12 so far. Let's take a look at last year's C2 championship game.
The top-seeded Crofton Warriors face 6th-seeded Ponca in the 2021 Class C1 State Championship. It was a back-and-forth battle throughout the first 3 quarters as Ponca took a 4-point lead into the 4th. But Crofton's press was no match for Ponca as the Warriors allowed just 1 field goal in the final period. Alexis Fulker's steal and layup gave Crofton the lead, sparking a 9-2 run, good enough to give Crofton and Coach Aaron Losing a 4-point win and 9th title in the last 17 seasons.
Hastings St. Cecilia, you're wondering, hey, this is their 4th straight title game appearance. Why weren't they in that flashback? Well, they were in C1 last year, that's why. They were the runner-up last year in Class C1. They're back in C2 this year, where they won titles in 2019 and 20. And we just saw Aaron Losing, a big hat tip to him as he's stepping down as the head coach at Crofton. 9 titles in 18 years. He made it to state 16 of his 18 years at Crofton. They got knocked out in the last round by St. Cecilia, so what a great coaching career by Aaron Losing. I know he's been a fixture down here in Lincoln over the years.
Yeah, what a run.
Free ball there by Tatum Creekat. So now we got a 1-point game. The Hawkettes have battled back.
Both teams shooting the ball very well this half. When they get their opportunities, they're putting them in.
Kissinger. She's going to draw a crowd every time she gets the ball. She's going to try to go right at Ruthie, and it's just so difficult when she's. I mean, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle is listed at 6'3".
Even if she doesn't get a hand on the block, it is simply her presence.
Yep.
And then what a good kick out by Kissinger there for the 3. Multiple players on this St. Cecilia team can really shoot it.
Especially with Kissinger when she draws a crowd like that to find the open teammate for a free 3-ball. Nice defense there. Nice defense by Ryan Sabatka. And there's a foul. But that play was made by Ryan Sabatka.
Very physical defender down low. And then they get out and run and get to the free throw line. The sophomore Sabatka is going to play a major role today with Kierkegaard out.
Yeah, Sabatka, sophomore forward, 5'11", averaging 3 points and 2 rebounds a game. As we'll take a quick timeout, but we are tied now. But yeah, that's going to be a developing story as we go on. And how can Sabatka neutralize or try to slow down Ruthie Loomis-Girdle?
And Bridgeport, you know, doesn't need to force it. They need to take their time and do what they do best. This doesn't change anything for them. Olivia Loomis-Girdle rushing things a little bit in there. They slow it down, get to the basket, and they're right in it, tied at 16.
So we talk about state finals appearances. Hastings St. Cecilia with 12. They are tied with Falls City Sacred Heart, Lincoln Pius X, and Sandy Creek. But the only schools that have had more state finals appearances are Crofton with 13, South Sioux City with 14, and a school that you know very well, my friend, is Lincoln Southeast. They are the leader at 16. You had a big role in those.
Well, we had a heck of a coach in John Larson at Southeast.
Out of the 16 you were part of as a player and assistant and head coach, probably most of those 16, right?
A few.
A few. You're so humble. So humble. All right, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. And the foul. You don't see that often. Don't really go glass that deep inside, but she goes right at the basket, gets it to fall, and will have a chance for a 3-point play.
She is finishing well against this physicality, and then she gives us a fist bump. Fire up, Ruthie.
3-point play. Yeah, this is a big deal for Bridgeport. This is their first appearance in the finals. That was some of those kids, I think they only had 1 day of school this week. That was Tuesday. And some of the kids just stayed down here all week. And I know the team did. This is Kissinger. Loses the handle.
A fun week, I'm sure, but a long one for these players and coaches.
And a heck of a week of basketball here in Lincoln.
Absolutely. Trying to work it into Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Sabaka's still doing a great job down low.
Kenzie Likas gives it up. It's Brooklyn Mormon. Ruthie Loomis girl.
Great patience and a spin.
Here comes Kissinger with pace. Inside to Sabaka.
Strong post up, just couldn't get the finish. She's having to work very hard on the defensive end of the floor.
Olivia Loomis girl misses her first 3 attempts. Well, we've had 3 games so far, and 3 games so far on Championship Saturday. Only one of the 6 teams playing so far have scored 20 points in the first half. It's been low-scoring defensive affairs, and this is no different.
No, the shooting has actually, the shooting percentages have slowed down here a bit.
You see the deflection. Yep, the deflection there by number 2, Natalie Keenan-Virgil.
Called over and back. This is a great matchup here with Olivia versus Bailey.
That 3 ball a little short.
Bridgeport sticking with the game plan, extending the zone, leaving the middle for them to go right to Ruthie.
Butler for 3. Got it.
That's great ball movement. Patience.
Big 3-pointer for Butler. Spin move. Off the back iron. Kissinger on the move. Less than a minute, first half.
Kissinger in the high post, sliding out. They're doing a great job continuing to move, which is what opened up the 3 for Butler last time. Cutting through the lane.
No rush for the Hawkettes. Game tied, holding for the 1. From the free throw line, partially blocked there by Brooklyn Mormon. Underneath, Butler is fouled.
Just like the end of last quarter, an offensive rebound gives St. Cecilia an opportunity to get 2 at the end of the half.
Perfect on the first.
4.5 seconds, still a lot of time for Bridgeport to try and get off a shot here at the buzzer.
Plus with Olivia Loomis girl, you know she can go coast to coast.
Absolutely.
So 2 for 2 for Butler. We'll see what the Bulldogs have. 4.5 left. Likas from half court, short. And we'll go to the locker room. Hastings St. Cecilia with a 2-point lead over the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Bridgeport, first appearance in the state final. We'll go to the locker room trailing by 2. And with the Bridgeport head coach, let's head over to Larry Putney.
Well, Dave, how do you think you're reacting the first time here in the finals?
I think we're reacting just fine. It's just simple execution things. At the end of both quarters, we give up offensive rebounds. You know, 1 for a layup. You know, we're up 14-6. They're like, oh, no big deal. It's a big deal. You know, anytime you do that, then the second time, offensive rebound, and she winds up getting free throws out of the deal. So we need to have more of a sense of urgency when the ball's loose in the paint right there.
What do you communicate at half?
That and we've got to get some things right offensively. There's just not enough movement. It's called the motion offense for a reason. We need to move.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. We're at halftime. State title championship Hawkettes on top, 21-19. We'll be back here in Lincoln in just a moment.
We're for agriculture, for growers, doers, whatever it takers. We're for doing things with purpose. We're for the little guy with big guy dreams. We're for agriculture. We're for you. Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Farming is more than just work. It's your way of life. Protecting your family's legacy is our way of life. Through challenges and successes, we understand your family's insurance needs. With every turn of the wheel, for every investment, through every season, generation after generation, Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Hastings St. Cecilia leading the Class C2 Girls State Championship game at half by 2. Time now for a special announcement. For that, we go cross court to Mr. Rich Broderson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special halftime presentation this afternoon. Believers and Achievers is a statewide program designed by U.S. Bank and the Nebraska School Activities Association to give recognition to Nebraska's future leaders. We have 4 Nebraska high school seniors with us this afternoon who have demonstrated academic excellence and a commitment to good citizenship. For their involvement in school and community service projects, U.S. Bank and the NSAA would like to honor these Believers and Achievers. Presenting the Believers and Achievers Awards are U.S. Bank Representative Jeff McEwen, NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller, and NSAA Board of Directors Chair Dr. John Cerny of Bancroft Rosalie. This afternoon's first honoree is Jordan Coe of Crete High School. Jordan is a 3.8 student who participates in softball, unified bowling, play production, music, and tennis. She was a member of the 2018, 2019, and 2020 NSAA Class B state softball qualifying teams. An honor roll student, Jordan serves leadership roles on the National Honor Society, FBLA, FCA, and Student Council at Crete. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Coe. Next is Brooklyn Colbert of Grand Island Central Catholic High School. Brooklyn participates in cross country, music, and tennis while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. She was a member of the 2020 NSAA Class C State Cross Country Qualifying Team, and she also qualified for the 2021 NSAA Class B Girls State Tennis Championships in #1 doubles. Brooklyn is an honor roll student who is a member of the National Honor Society, FBLA, and cheer squad at Grand Island Central Catholic. Ladies and gentlemen, Brooklyn Colbert. Our next recipient is Faith McDonald of Centura High School. Faith is a 4.0 student, participates in volleyball, play production, speech, and track. She was a 3rd place medalist in OID at the 2021 NSAA Class C1 State Speech Championships. At Centura, Faith serves leadership roles on the National Honor Society, Student Council, FCA, and FBLA. Ladies and gentlemen, Faith McDonald. Our final recipient is Carly Stumer of Alma High School. Carly participates in volleyball, play production, basketball, music, and track while maintaining a 4.0 GPA. An honor roll student in NCPA Academic All-State Selection, Carly is involved in the National Honor Society, Quiz Bowl, and Student Council at Alma. She is also a teammates mentee and Red Cross volunteer. Ladies and gentlemen, Carly Stumer. And now, let's give one more round of applause to the 2021-2022 U.S. Bank Believers and Achievers, the future leaders of Nebraska.
Congratulations to these believers and achievers. A job well done. Halftime, C2 championship game. Halftime highlights and stats straight ahead.
Opportunities. They're found here, and here, and here. They inspire her, motivate him, prepare them. And when those opportunities start here, they can take you anywhere. Wayne State College, where opportunities today prepare you to lead tomorrow. Explore WayneStateCollege.com.
Constellation is a natural gas supplier helping inspire young Nebraskans through hands-on learning. Constellation has given more than $290,000 to 4-H and FFA organizations across the state, helping support youth in your community with opportunities to achieve real-world success. Because we believe that powering communities means empowering our future leaders. With Constellation, a contribution to 4-H and FFA is in the stars.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The Kubota MX Series is ready to help. You can mow, move hay bales, grade, and clear brush and snow. Equipped with a cab for any conditions. Loader lift capacity for jobs of all sizes. Hydrostatic or gear transmission options. The Kubota MX Series. For more information and participating Nebraska Kubota dealers, KubotaNesports.com.
After concussion, returning to the classroom is a priority of the NSAA. All brains return to learn. Not all brains return to play.
After recognizing that an athlete has suffered a concussion, it is important to monitor the symptoms in the classroom before allowing the athlete to return to extracurricular activities.
The NSAA requires coaches in all sports to take a concussion course once every 3 years.
More information is available on our website, nsaahome.org. Student athletes are students first, athletes second.
Coverage of the 2022 NSAA High School Basketball Championships on Nebraska Public Media is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, and Nebraska Kubota dealers. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support.
Bailey Kissinger, such a great player, averaging 17 points a game, just 4 in the first half, and here is why. Bridgeport is certainly guarding Kissinger, and all eyes are on here, but look, a great player can always find the right play, and she's able to kick it out for a 3. Kissinger, a great player, can score, can pass, and that is why St. Cecilia has the lead.
No question about it. Kissinger, unselfish, 4 points, but her team leads, and you take 4 points to the lead rather than a big scoring personal half any day of the week. As you check out the first half statistics, Hastings St. Cecilia dominating the boards.
Yeah, that's a big one. Obviously, a little bit shocking considering Ruthie Loomis-Girdle inside and the fact that the great player Kierkegaard hasn't been in there. They're just working that hard to get the boards.
Bridgeport actually shooting at a higher percentage from the field and yet trails by 2. And there's a welcome sight for St. Cecilia. Addie Kierkegaard has taped up her knee and she is going through warm-ups. Wouldn't that be a welcome sight and welcome addition back in the lineup? All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights in the first half. Kissinger did score a couple buckets. Here's one of them.
Yeah, she's really good on that left-hand side of the floor.
Kissinger's so effective with her all-around game, though just 2 of 8. But 3 threes for the Hawkettes on the afternoon. On the other side, Bridgeport, they're led by the Loomis-Girdle sisters, Olivia, number 0, and Ruthie, number 23.
Yeah, 17 of Bridgeport's 19 points come from these 2 sisters. Olivia able to spin and get to the basket on her left side, and then Ruthie so strong on the inside. And then she does it on the defensive end as well with the block shots.
All right, let's head over to Larry Putney, who's standing by with the Hawkettes head coach. Larry.
Well, Greg, you're finding other ways for Kissinger to get involved. What do you need to do in the second half to get her more involved in the scoring?
You know, I think keep moving around. We had her on the perimeter. She's really good in transition, and then we started kind of slipping her in the high post to kind of loosen some stuff up because the middle of their zone is wide open. So she can impact the game in a lot of ways. It's not just putting it through the basket. So you know, as her teammates started getting involved once a lot of attention got on her. So she's going to stay aggressive, and everyone else needs to stay confident.
Sounds like your message was short and sweet at half.
Yeah, it was. I mean, believe in yourselves. Keep swinging to the very end. I said, if it's going to be any team of mine, we're going to keep competing to the very end. That is non-negotiable. And I love how they finished that half, so we got to do more of the same.
Everyone wants to know, how's Addie Kierkegaard? We saw her taped up back out here.
Sore knee. She's going to give it a go. We'll see how it goes. So like I said, there's nothing else to do tomorrow, so hopefully she can go for 16.
Thanks, Rick. Appreciate it. We are at halftime. 2-point lead for the Hawkettes. Second half action coming your way.
Electricity. It makes life easier, more productive, brighter, possible. Yet we only think about it when we don't have it. The next time you're doing, well, anything, think about how electricity makes it all possible. And know we will be there, powering your everyday, every day.
Programming on NET Television is provided in part by the Dr. Tom and Dorothy Hallstrom Inspire Nebraska Athletics Endowment.
Live streaming for the NSAA Championships are also available at the Nebraska Public Media website and on the free Nebraska Public Media app.
Addie Kierkegaard, a welcome sight for the Hawkettes. Back on the floor, number 24, a fresh tape job on her knee. She's going to give it a go here in the third quarter. Her team up by 2. It's Hastings St. Cecilia up 2 over the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Second half begins in the Class C2 Girls Championship.
Bridgeport looks to go inside right away, and Kierkegaard is showing her presence already. So good to see a senior competing for her team out there. Injured.
Battling through adversity. Coach Greg Barrett says 16 to play. Nothing to do tomorrow.
Go for 16 more.
There you go.
This is not his first time.
Yeah, you could tell he was pretty determined. Message short and sweet. You're going to go down swinging no matter what. Inside to Kierkegaard. It's going to be a jump ball. Possession, Hawkettes.
Goodness, first possession, the injured player has to dive on the floor for the ball. Great hustle, both teams.
Yeah, Kierkegaard had 16 in that quarterfinal win against Elkhorn Valley. She is so vital to the success of this team, giving the Hawkettes a inside presence. But there is Natalie Keenan-Virgil with the steal, and she'll go to the line.
Great anticipation on that pass. She saw it before it was even coming, got the steal, and to the free throw line.
And this is a unique opportunity. The Loomis-Girdle sisters have scored 17 of the Bulldogs' 19 points so far in this game. That's 89%. And here's a stat Jeff Smith passed it along to us, is that for the tournament, of the 143 points scored by Bridgeport, 105 of them by the Loomis-Girdle sisters. That's 73% of the offensive points scored by the two Loomis-Girdle sisters.
Not shocking from what we've seen so far. Very talented. They understand their role. Great steal from Olivia Loomis-Girdle.
Inside and gets the roll. And we are tied. Blocked by Ruthie. Kissinger for 3. Got it.
She's been wanting that one.
That's her first three-pointer of the game.
And then she gets the steal.
Here we go. Spin move. Kissinger gets the foul and the basket. Beautiful.
And Kissinger is fired up, trying to score the last 6 for St. Cecilia. She does love spinning back to that left hand.
Look how far down that ball is right there. She's able to still get it up and in the basket. Beautiful move by
Coach Amy
Kissinger.
at UNK is going to love that. Kissinger going to be a loper.
That's 10 points now, double digits for Kissinger. Hawkettes up 6. Call a walk there. You're starting to sense St. Cecilia, the momentum going in their favor, and that's a nicely timed timeout by Dave Coolin. He needs to settle his team down. 6 straight points by St. Cecilia, 6 straight points by Bailey Kissinger.
Yeah, and whether or not you can see it on the stat sheet or not, clearly Kierkegaard being back in the game makes a difference on the defensive end of the floor as well as the offensive.
There you see Bailey Kissinger. You know, we're talking about how big of an impact she's had. You know, in the semifinal against Crofton, she scored 22 points, and 13 of them came from the free throw line. She was 13 of 17 at the stripe, but I think what's even more impressive, 7 of 9 at the line in the fourth quarter, and 4 for 4 in the final 30. That's a mark of a champion.
Yeah, she's, again, that's someone who's been here before, understands the moment, is going to be able to finish for her team and try to get that state title.
And really, for these seniors at Hastings St. Cecilia, I mean, the seniors, the Kissingers and the Kierkegaards, I mean, they have 101 wins between them as a senior class. That is remarkable. 101 times you play basketball and won a game at the high school level. That's incredible.
They don't even know what it's like to not be in the state finals.
Right.
That's insane.
All 4 years of their high school careers, you ended in Lincoln with 2 state championships, looking for 3.
Let's see what adjustments Bridgeport makes here.
Butler.
Another block.
And then she commits the foul.
I love the way Ruthie Loomis-Girdle goes about it defensively with her help. She goes up with both hands to get a block. Shows the officials both hands. Sometimes you get that second hand low on the hip. She will block it with both, and it's hard to call a foul on that.
3 blocks for Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Ellie Klein from outside. Oh, did they need that? A big-time 3 from the senior. Kissinger underneath to Kierkegaard. That was a big 3 ball by Ellie Klein.
Yes. Klein was the only other person that had scored in the first half. Feet are set, ready to go. Hard follow through from the top of the key.
Kierkegaard rolls out. Jump ball will stay with Bridgeport. Yeah, you mentioned that three players have had produced all the points for Bridgeport. Olivia Loomis-Girdle has 10. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle has 9, and now Ellie Klein has 5. They're going to let her shoot if they want.
They're content to slide off of her just to protect the paint.
Olivia off glass, off rim, and out.
There's Kierkegaard.
Missed the shot.
Tips it back out.
Kissinger blocked, but there's a foul. Oh, boy. So Kissinger will be at the line when we return. Hawkettes up 3.
That was funny. Yeah. That's a sick bike.
Boys.
Miss Sanderson?
See you Monday.
No way.
Morning. Who said that? Whoa, where did that come from? Floating money.
Funny.
Good luck out there.
If you or a loved one feels depressed or suicidal, don't be afraid to talk about your feelings. The Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services wants you to know that you are not alone and that Nebraska needs you.
Help, hope, and healing are available in the Heartland and are just a phone call or text away. Call 1-800-273-TALK or text HOME to 741-741.
Coverage of the 2022 NSAA High School Basketball Championships on Nebraska Public Media is made possible in part by the Nebraska Corn Board, Aurora Cooperative, and Constellation Energy. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support.
All right, so we resume. Bailey Kissinger heads to the line. She's got 10 points on the afternoon, but 6 of the 10 in the second half. In fact, all 6 points for St. Cecilia scored by Kissinger in the second half. Make that 7.
As you said earlier, Andy, great free throw shooter, especially in clutch time.
And you jinxed her. But Kierkegaard, yeah, Kierkegaard gets the offensive rebound, and the Hawkettes keep possession.
Kierkegaard really making her presence felt down there.
Just the threat of her
absolutely
opens things up.
Hard to extend out on Kissinger as hard and fast when you have someone posting up inside.
There's Butler. Goes off Ruthie Loomis. Girdle will stay put. Loose ball. Possession, St. Cecilia. St. Cecilia is looking for their 7th state championship. They've won titles in 77, 78, 79, 2011, 2019, and 2020.
Quite a run.
Yeah, if they would get that 7, they'd be tied for 6th most all time. Sacred Heart, who won their 7th, the Irish, last night. There's a 3 ball by Kissinger off the mark. The rebound, Butler out of bounds. Bridgeport.
Butler working hard on the offensive boards today.
Butler 7 points, 10 rebounds on the afternoon. He's got a nice ball game.
Again, another senior that wants that state title.
Entry into Olivia Loomis Girdle. Turnaround for the bucket.
Great finish in traffic. She needed that one.
She's got 12. 12 points, the leading scorer in the game. Butler from deep. Kissinger. Butler thought about it briefly. Kissinger, Kierkegaard, too strong. Olivia Loomis, girl, that's some range.
It's a great looking shot. Just off the mark. Bridgeport has to be disappointed in the fact that they are getting out-rebounded 23-13.
And that 8-0 offensively, too. That is a huge stat. How many? That's 9-0. That's 9 extra chances. Even though that one didn't result in points, still more opportunities to get points.
Makes a heck of a difference in a 2-point game.
Absolutely. It's Klein. She's hit a 3 earlier.
Yep, she knows her role. She picks her spots.
So
if her feet are set, she'll take it.
She can shoot it, and they don't seem to mind that she's out there. But that just tells you what the offense is all about.
Ruthie Loomis Girdle down low.
Yep. And Olivia up top.
Double team.
Yep. Brooklyn Mormon falling out of bounds. And there's people in the stands begging her to shoot. Instead, she hands it off to Olivia Loomis Girdle. Here comes Kissinger on the break.
With the right hand.
Man, she's a player.
So skilled, so shifty in traffic, able to finish with either hand.
13 for Kissinger. Olivia Loomis Girdle answers. This is a nice battle back and forth.
Two lefties driving right. Yep. I love it.
Yep. Kissinger, Kierkegaard, foul, rattles out.
St. Cecilia doing a little bit better job getting in transition now. And this is what they do best.
Back and forth, Kissinger to Loomis Girdle. That's 3 personals now on Olivia Loomis Girdle. Something to keep an eye on as we get a little deeper in this broadcast.
Absolutely, the leading scorer right now with 14. They need her on the floor.
Circles around and out. We stay a 2-point game.
Gracious. Ruthie Loomis Girdle, 6'3", and she has quite a vertical. She got up for that rebound.
She's got 7 rebounds on the afternoon. Klein misses. So St. Cecilia was a chance at the end of the quarter. Coach Coolin talked about how important these end of quarters have been so far to this game. Here's another opportunity for the Hawkettes.
Absolutely, the first 2 quarters, St. Cecilia was able to get a rebound and an opportunity to score.
Here comes Kissinger, throws one up, but then Ruthie Loomis Girdle says, not this quarter. Hawkettes, though, keep that 2-point lead. Kissinger, the dominating force in this third quarter for the Hawkettes. 8 minutes away from a 3rd title in 4 years.
You interact with your fellow co-op members just naturally through the community, whether it be church or a basketball game. You know, we all got to live together, so we serve together too. It's your co-op. It's not my co-op. It's not the CEO's co-op. It's your co-op. These are your assets that we own collectively together. So it's important to make sure that this thing stays resilient and is here for the next generation.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together.
8 minutes to play in this Class C2 Girls State Championship game. Hastings St. Cecilia with a 2-point lead over the Bridgeport Bulldogs. Olivia Loomis Girdle, Ruthie Loomis Girdle, they have been the factor as they have been all season long. That's today, 21 points, 10 boards combined. The rest of the team, 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Olivia Loomis-Girdle really doing it on the offensive end. And while Ruthie has 9 points as well, it's what she's doing defensively that impresses me the most today.
And right away, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle will go to the line. And that's, you know, big picture, this is such the beauty of the state tournament. You know, here's Bridgeport, a school way out west, and if you live in Lincoln or Omaha or around the metro or whatever, you don't have the opportunity to see kids like Olivia Loomis-Girdle or Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. You hear stories about, hey, you got to see these kids, and they're, man, you got to keep an eye on these. But if you don't get a chance to see them, this is the beautiful opportunity. That's why the state tournament is so enjoyable every year, where it brings the whole state together, where you see the stars of today and tomorrow in the making.
Absolutely. This is a great crowd today, too. We've had good crowds all weekend to see these great athletes play.
And you can bet that this crowd will swell, because the game after this is the Class A championship game, Millard North and Bellevue West, round 3 in the state championship in Class A boys. That will be a fun one. But right now it's the Class C2 girls game. Here's Olivia Loomis-Girdle.
Great defense by Kissinger there in transition. Stopping the ball early.
She's going to go with a deep 3 and come up empty. But still, just the 3 players for Bridgeport with points today. The 2 Loomis-Girdle sisters and Klein with 5. And you know, Hastings St. Cecilia in the 3rd quarter scored 9 points, all 9 of them Bailey Kissinger, the future UNK product.
Little push off there called on Sheehy.
Her first personal foul, 14 down against Hastings St. Cecilia.
Well, extended the arm. That's what the officials saw. Push off. Every possession so important as we get deeper and deeper into this one. You get the sense this one's going to go down to the wire.
Yeah, this is going to be a great finish. What
Olivia,
a great pass.
Nice move inside. Great pass, great shot. Olivia Loomis-Girdle. She now has 16. Timeout, St. Cecilia. Well, great ball movement here, Kara.
Yeah, and with Ruthie, with her back to the basket, you got to see this cut on the weak side by Olivia and the finish. Great pass, sister to sister, and it's tied.
And it's so important. You know, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle has the court awareness to know, and she can feel the presence of multiple defenders on her, knowing that somebody could be cutting to the basket. And that's a teammate, and that's a sister playing with her for so long. You know where she's going to be, right?
Yeah, and Ruthie's really good. She could have turned to the baseline side and tried to force it up. But just a great cut by Olivia. Great find by Ruthie. St. Cecilia takes the timeout. Coach Barron's going to get them to settle in, get Kissinger back involved as we start this 4th quarter. 6.5 minutes to go.
You get a good view of the crowd from Bridgeport, about 6 hours away. They were telling me before the game. Thrilled to be in Lincoln, thrilled to be in a state championship game for the first time in school history. What a thrill it is for that school and that community.
Again, what a great state championship weekend it has been. So many different dynasty teams and so many first-timers.
Kissinger, too strong on the 3. Bridgeport with a chance to take the lead. And there's the 3 from Ellie Klein. She's been the X factor for the Bulldogs. That's 8 for Klein.
Look at that smile. That's been her spot today from the 3-point line. Every championship game, every championship team needs a role player to step up, and that's what Klein's doing today.
And she says, well, I'll step up. I'm a role player. I can do that too. She hits the 3.
The senior answers. What a game.
This is fun.
I love basketball.
Isn't it great? You know, it's funny because, you know, Klein's hit 2 of her 2 shots, and yet she's almost reluctant to take it. That's because you got Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Why should I take the shot when I got the big post inside?
St. Cecilia is still going to drop off of Klein for this very reason. What a finish. And again, gotta love the fist pump and the fire from Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
11 points now, 8 rebounds for Ruthie, the junior. Make that 12. 3-point lead for the Bulldogs. Kissinger trying to thread the needle, but Olivia Loomis-Girdle was there to knock it out of bounds.
Yep, Kissinger's going to continue to try and get into the middle of the lane off the dribble and then make a decision, score or pass.
Kierkegaard blocked by Klein. They're going to call a foul.
Great play by St. Cecilia. Little lob pass, one power dribble, and trying to finish. Bridgeport fans don't like it. So good to see Kierkegaard back in the game this half and contributing after what looked like a season-ending injury.
Career-ending, at least from a high school level, as the senior hits 1 of 2.
St. Cecilia back in their press.
Knocked down by Kierkegaard, turnover, the steal, here comes Kissinger. And there's a block called on Brooklyn Mormon. Good defense by Kierkegaard to start it, and here's the foul, and it looks like Mormon got a little shaken up there. It looked like she took a shot to the midsection there. So she's going to check out.
Andy, at this point in the game, we start to get to some time and score opportunities here in a close game. This is where the experience of St. Cecilia really does come into play. Bridgeport going to try to counter that with their talent.
St. Cecilia, 4th straight trip to the final. Here's Kierkegaard, hit so many big shots in her career here. But this time will be an outside shot. Missed. Rebound. Kierkegaard inside. Still can't get it to go. Rebound, Bridgeport.
2 offensive opportunities and rebounds for Kierkegaard. Just couldn't finish.
Klein's going to take a 3. Loose ball.
Ruthie fights for the rebound and tips it out.
Just to keep that alive was another opportunity for a basket. Didn't work out that time, but Ruthie Loomis-Girdle having a day.
The intensity is definitely picking up.
Yep.
We've got some physical play.
Absolutely. Under 4 minutes in the state championship game. 2-point game. Buckle up. They're going to say it went off Ruthie Loomis-Girdle.
Kierkegaard saw that coming the whole way. Olivia Loomis-Girdle's eyes were on her sister that whole time. Mormon seems to be okay coming back in the game.
And Mackenzie Likas will take a seat.
Kissinger, a little backup dribble. Gonna work the clock a little bit, get the best shot. Down 2.
Sheehy underneath the Butler for the basket. Nice ball movement and the opportunity for Butler, and she converts, and we have a tie game.
Great offensive possession there. Kissinger skip passes. The whole defense is leaning her way. She skip passes, which opens up that pass down low for the finish for Butler.
So Bridgeport takes a full timeout. They still have 2 remaining.
Here's the skip pass. Look at the entire Bridgeport team focused on this young lady. And then look right here on the skip pass. We're gonna see Butler cut right to the basket for the finish.
Butler with 9 points now and 11 rebounds. She's having a nice afternoon. The senior, Shea Butler, coming in with an average of 8 points a game and 4 rebounds a game, and she's got 9 and 11. So that tells you something about the afternoon she's having.
Yeah, St. Cecilia has had to have people step up. As great of a game as Kissinger has had, other people have had to step up and score. 4 starters getting lots of minutes for St. Cecilia.
Still just the 3 players scoring for Bridgeport. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, and Ellie Klein. Klein with 8, Olivia with 16, and Ruthie with 12.
Hard take to the basket, but a great rebound.
St. Cecilia's fans are starting to get on their feet. Butler for 3. Underneath, Kissinger somehow gets it up and in and over. That was amazing. How did that shot go in?
Kissinger with a great kick out for the 3, and then she's right in the right spot for the rebound and gets over Ruthie Loomis-Girdle for 2.
15 for Kissinger. 2-point lead for the Hawkettes. Klein for 3. Kissinger the rebound.
Bridgeport needs to get back to what they do well offensively. They got to get the ball to Olivia Loomis-Girdle.
Oh, Kissinger started the motion and thought better of it. 2-point lead, just over 2 to play. So, let's hold it for a better opportunity.
That's an experienced senior.
And Olivia Loomis-Girdle forces the turnover. Klein knocked away by Kierkegaard, and she's going to get whistled for the foul. So here's Kissinger. How did she get this in?
She is shifty. It looked like a little half baby hook with the left hand over the top of the shot blocker.
Almost a shot put. Hey, whatever works.
You bet.
Went in the hoop.
We're heading into track season.
Yeah.
Big possession here for Bridgeport.
Klein, too strong.
She's had a good day shooting the ball. I think Coach Coolin would like to see the ball get inside to Ruthie.
And Klein now 2 of 5 from 3, so you've seen her make a couple before. Now St. Cecilia, 2-point lead in the ball as we approach a minute.
This is where Kissinger is so dangerous because of her ability to handle the ball and make free throws. Got to get up and trap and get the ball out of her hands. Plenty of time, only down 2, Bridgeport.
You're going to call timeout. Greg Barrett wants to talk it over. And this is where experience is going to really come into play, I think, as you mentioned, Kara. You know, Hawkettes have been in 4 straight state title games, these seniors. Well, they know what it's all about. They've won close games, and they can handle these situations. And Bailey Kissinger, what an afternoon for the UNK hoops commit. 15 points, 6 rebounds. She's had an afternoon.
Yeah, she's able to finish in traffic really, really well at her size. Left or right, as you can see there. Great in transition. And she's made a couple of great kick-out passes for the 3, and she can shoot it as well from outside. The spin dribble and the finish, and 1. Fire up that bench.
I do like the way that she plays so fearlessly.
Absolutely, and I think, again, that has to do with the experience of winning. When you're in a winning program and you're used to competing for state titles, there's no fear.
There you see the Kissinger line, 15-6, 1-1.
Again, Bridgeport here is going to want to keep the ball out of her hands. If they can face guard her, switch, trap, get the ball to somebody else, and deny it back.
6 team fouls for each team, if you're wondering. No need to foul just yet.
Nope, but they do need a steal or a trap.
Kissinger will dribble it back out.
Almost just hands off to Kierkegaard.
And another timeout for Greg Barron. So we talk about the most girls state championships. South Sioux City leads it with 12, Sandy Creek with 10, Lincoln Southeast with 10, Crofton 9, Wynot 8, Falls City Sacred Heart with 7, and St. Cecilia can equal that with 7 with a victory if they can hang on. I mean, those are powerhouse programs for girls basketball, and St. Cecilia absolutely belongs in that mix.
No doubt about it. Again, they've created a culture there where winning is the expectation, and players want to come there to compete for championships.
And on the flip side, Bridgeport, Dave Coolin trying to build that tradition and build that culture, and this would be a huge step if they're able to come back to win this one.
Bridgeport has the pieces to get it done. Let's see if they can get a stop here. They're going to need to foul soon.
Around, yep. 25 seconds left. Just keep away now. They're going to keep it in Kissinger's hand. You know, we talked about the free throws, and they will get tested, no question. Kissinger was so good in the semifinal against Crofton to kind of lock that thing away, put it away against the Crofton club to knock them out of the semifinals to get them to the final. She had 4 free throws in the final 30.
Bridgeport had a very short opportunity to foul Mormon there, and they missed it. Kissinger's so good once she gives it up in this situation, coming right back to the basketball. Big offensive possession coming up for Bridgeport. Coach Coolin wants to draw something up.
So what is Coach Coolin talking about in there, you think? What's your message? You've been in these situations before, obviously, as a head coach.
Sure, the key here is that there's no need to get a 3 right away. You have got to find the best shot, do what you do best, draw something up to get a quick bucket, and then you're up pressuring right away in the full court, denying Kissinger the ball.
So even if you are down 3, you say still take the 2.
If there's enough time left, if you can get it off quickly, I'm a big fan of the 2 and making the other team make free throws. As we get under 15 and 10 seconds, though, that's just not an option.
Right.
But if they're up 4, which I expect them to be in St. Cecilia, obviously a 3 won't do it anyway.
Here's the other thing. Quick 2. No question. And on this free throw, should Kissinger miss, Bridgeport, you got to rebound the basketball. 12 offensive rebounds by the Hawkettes so far in this game.
Great point. Oftentimes forgotten point at the end of the game.
Big free throw, in and out.
Ruthie Loomis-Girdle with the rebound. And they elect to go with the quick 2.
Off the mark, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle gets the quick 2. So now it's a 1-point game. Timeout, Bridgeport, final timeout. So it's a 1-point game with 11.1 to play.
Again, this is why you trust your players. Olivia Loomis-Girdle is so good at attacking early and quickly. She didn't take a lot of time, so why not go for the 2 where we've struggled from the 3-point line today? And Ruthie, her sister, says, I'll get that for you, and puts it back in. Now it's crucial that they get a quick steal or foul right away.
Immediately, right. Ruthie Loomis-Girdle, what a game for the junior center. 14 points, 10 rebounds, and 5 block shots, so a double-double for her. And you can see why there's been a lot of buzz about Ruthie and a lot of buzz about her sister Olivia, who's only a sophomore, who has 16 points in this one.
Yeah, the buzz is well earned for this pair.
We've heard a lot about these kids coming in, and they have lived up to the hype, no question. So it'll be interesting. 11 seconds to play in this Class C2 championship game.
Obviously, St. Cecilia is going to try and get the ball to Bailey Kissinger. She missed the last free throw. I would not expect that she would do that again. Be careful for the long ball here. Somebody will go deep.
Butler to Kissinger. You got it in the hands of the player you wanted, and they're going to call a foul. So this is the person you want at the line. Bailey Kissinger, 3 for 5 today at the line. She was 13 of 17 in the semifinal against Crofton. And remember, Bridgeport is out of timeouts. And she bounces it in. Shooter's roll.
Yeah, I would expect at this point that Olivia Loomis-Girdle will get the outlet, whether it's off the miss or the make, get the ball down quickly, and try and get the three. Now they just need 2 to tie.
2 to tie, 3 to win. Olivia Loomis-Girdle throws it to Butler. Butler with the steal, and the Hawkettes on the verge of history.
Such a tough finish for Olivia Loomis-Girdle, who has played so well, trying to lob it into her sister to finish the game and give her the opportunity to tie it.
Shea Butler. Miss. Olivia Loomis-Girdle, this will count. But it doesn't matter. The Hawkettes are your Class C2 champions. St. Cecilia wins it by 2. Congratulations to Hastings St. Cecilia. The Hawkettes win their 7th title in school history. Greg Barrett, 3rd title in the last 4 years. Bridgeport had a shot at the end, couple chances, but St. Cecilia comes out on top. Hawkettes with 7 state titles now. Ties them for 6th all time. This the latest, a C2 title over Bridgeport. Hardware next.
Constellation is a natural gas supplier helping inspire young Nebraskans through hands-on learning. Constellation has given more than $290,000 to 4-H and FFA organizations across the state, helping support youth in your community with opportunities to achieve real-world success. Because we believe that powering communities means empowering our future leaders. With Constellation, a contribution to 4-H and FFA is in the stars.
Mow, dig, haul, trench. They all get done with the Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor. Attachments designed to keep you moving. The Kubota BX Series with hydrostatic transmission. For more information and participating Nebraska Kubota dealers, KubotaNEsports.com.
Coverage of the 2022 NSAA High School Basketball Championships on Nebraska Public Media is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, and Nebraska Kubota dealers. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support.
So Hastings St. Cecilia, your winners, the Hawkettes, a 2-point victory over the Bridgeport Bulldogs in Class C2. Time to hand out the awards, and for that, we head over to Rich Broderson.
The Nebraska School Activities Association, the Nebraska Coaches Association, and the Nebraska State Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association are proud to support positive sportsmanship during the state championships and throughout the season. At this time, we are pleased to present the Sportsmanship Award for Class C2 Girls. The trophy is graciously donated by Awards Unlimited. The Sportsmanship program is exclusively presented by Concordia University, Nebraska, now proudly partnering with the Concordia University, Irvine, California, and offering the nation's #1 graduate program in coaching and athletics administration, along with exercise sciences. Making the presentation, representing the Nebraska State Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association, is NSAA AAA board member Jack Tarr. The Class C2 Sportsmanship Award winner is Elkhorn Valley High School. Congratulations, Elkhorn Valley High School. The Nebraska School Activities Association is honored to have medals and trophies for both of these outstanding teams. Presentations will be made by NSAA Executive Director Jay Beller, NSAA Board of Directors Bob Cruz from Holdridge, Dr. Troy Unziker from Alliance, and U.S. Bank Representative Jeff McEwen. Here are the awards for runner-up Bridgeport High School. Head coach Dave Coolin and your assistant, please present the silver medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. We begin with number 0, Olivia Loomis-Girdle. Number 1, Brooklyn Mormon. Number 3, Alexis Hill. Number 5, Samantha Hill. Number 10, Riley Carrier. Number 13, Megan Klein. Number 22, Mackenzie Likas. Number 23, Ruthie Loomis-Girdle. Number 42, Grace Dean. And now to the seniors, Natalie Keenan-Virgil. Number 11, Paige Schmuck. And number 30, Ellie Klein. And now for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2022 NSAA Class C2 State Basketball Runner-Up Trophy. Congratulations, Bridgeport High School. And now to the champions, Hastings St. Cecilia High School. Head coach Greg Barrett, we have a special award for you. Now, coach and your assistant, please present the gold medals. Players, please come forward as your name is called. We begin with number 2, Lindsay Parr. Number 3, Izzy Coles. Number 10, Chloe Rosso. Number 11, Tatum Kurikak. Number 12, Addie DeMuth. Number 13, Ryan Sabanka. Number 15, Grace Canatra. Number 20, Brooke Bolke. Number 21, Abby Mushalek. Number 30, Hannah Schneider. And now to the seniors. Number 1, Aaron Sheehy. Number 4, Bailey Kissinger. Number 5, Shay Butler. And number 24, Eddie Kierkegaard. Presenting the championship game ball from Farmers Mutual Insurance, Chairman and President CEO, Mark Wall. And for these outstanding athletes and their school, here is the 2022 NSAA Class C2 State Basketball Championship Trophy. Congratulations, Hastings St. Cecilia High School.
And join Larry Putney, who's standing by with Bridgeport head coach Dave Cooley.
Yeah, Dave, talk about the ending there. You had your opportunities. It seemed like every time you got down, you had an answer. You were right back in it every time.
Yeah, I mean, these girls are champions, is what I want to call them. You know, they lost the game by 2 points, but they're champions. And we did. It seemed like every single time they found somebody open, they shot the three like they're supposed to, but my goodness, they shot a high percentage on them, and that usually doesn't happen. And so, you know, you got to give them credit for that. And then on the times there in the fourth quarter where they missed their three, they got the offensive rebound seemingly every single time. So those were big spots. You know, we were in a spot earlier this year where we were running something different against man, and it was going really, really well, and so we were going with it, and then we had a game where it just didn't go well, and so we went to this, and we just haven't had enough practice with it, and against a really strong defensive team like that, it's tough to you know, run some offense on the fly like that.
Talk about the three seniors, you know, and what they've meant to this team.
Yeah, you know, all three of them have started before, and none of them started at the beginning of this year. Natalie worked her way back into the starting lineup, and you know, I just told her after the game, it's like, I really wish that she had more eligibility because she is just coming into her own now. And then Ellie was phenomenal off the bench tonight, dropped a couple threes, and then Paige Schmunk is great attitude, great kid, really, really smart kid, and they're going to be missed.
And finally, Ruthie and Olivia, what do they mean to this team?
I mean, those two have put so much time into this game. They are getting rewarded in so many different ways. They wanted this reward too, and it hurts them a lot right now. But they're both tremendous people. You know, every college that recruits them, the first thing they say is like, okay, these two are not entitled. You know, and so many of the kids that these high major teams, you know, that they recruit, they're just so entitled, and they're like, it is a breath of fresh air recruiting these two, and that's the type of kids that they are.
Well, congratulations on a great season, Dave. We appreciate it. Runner-up this year in 2022, Bridgeport. When we come back, we'll hear from the Blue Hawks. Stay with us.
Sometimes you just have to be a little stronger, go a little farther, be a little tougher. This past year was a test to see if we could step up and weather the storm together. We are committed to push a little harder, go a little farther, lean into the challenge, and be tougher together. Aurora and you.
This is a growing corn plant. It's not battery powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change. Reducing 46% of carbon emissions and producing clean-burning ethanol. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
Electricity. It makes life easier, more productive, brighter, possible. Yet we only think about it when we don't have it. The next time you're doing, well, anything, think about how electricity makes it all possible. And know we will be there, powering your everyday, every day.
Coverage of the 2022 NSAA High School Basketball Championships on Nebraska Public Media is made possible in part by the Nebraska Corn Board, Aurora Cooperative, and Constellation Energy. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support.
Third time in 4 years, St. Cecilia can call themselves state champions. 2-point win over Bridgeport. And how'd they do it? That's a great question. You look at the rebounds, but look at that shooting percentage. Bridgeport shot it better, but Hastings St. Cecilia still comes out on top.
Yep, just too many second chance points for Hastings St. Cecilia. And then, of course, Bailey Kissinger making up for 50% of their points today with her points and assists. Hastings St. Cecilia, a true powerhouse.
And 12-2 in terms of offensive rebounds. Second chance points played a huge role for the Hawkettes. Let's go. Listen to the champs. We'll hear from them next.
It's thanks to you that we're where we are today. We're proud to watch these communities grow because they're our communities too. Our neighbors, our friends. It's where we live. These are all our hometowns. And no matter what, the people who will continue to serve your needs with the hometown support you know and trust are just down the street. Cornerstone Bank, growing together.
All right, it's time to talk about us. Not him, not her, not them. Us. Thanks to us, things have been great. In fact, you can find us just about everywhere. Your food, that's us. Your food's food, that's us too. Your fuel, that's us. And should anyone out there happen to doubt us, by all means, just watch us.
Well, it seemed a bit surreal for head coach Greg Barrett as his Blue Hawks win the state title. 40-38 is the final. We are joined by the coach backstage. What were you thinking right there?
I mean, like you said, it was surreal. You know, I mean, this whole week is always surreal, and to get to the final two is just a tremendous honor. And then, you know, when the final buzzer goes off and the way that game went, and you see that you got two more in the other group, which is a great team, it's hard to believe in the moment. Luckily, I got a group of 4 great seniors that kept battling to the end.
Yeah, let's talk about them. 4 seniors, 4 trips into the finals, 102 total wins. What have they meant to you? What have they meant to this program?
The one thing I'll always be appreciative of them is, you know, their coach is one that's going to push them and he's not going to let up. And even to the final timeout, he wasn't letting up. And I said, that's the promise I'm going to give you, that I won't quit on you. You don't quit on me. And, you know, last year we came up just short. And I tell you what, in all the tests, I didn't bring it up one time. I didn't have to. I knew that they were going to be hungry to want to come back. So they don't need any extra motivation from the coach when it came there. They were going to bring it themselves from there.
How big was it when you walk out of halftime and you see Addie jogging up and down that back hallway to get ready, and all of a sudden here she is in the second half?
Well, I told her she didn't have a choice, so she had to come on out. It was big. It was big, you know. Just that presence defensively, you know, and a shout out to Ryan Sabaka, who's a sophomore, who probably plays about 8 minutes a game. She came in and went toe-to-toe with an all-stater and played her tail off, and that's what a team does. And we're not especially a deep team, but I was really proud of Ryan in that first half and how he came back and battled.
The shot late by Kissinger, and then the ability to, you know, control the ball, shoot the free throws late. Talk about the experience and her play.
I don't know how many times Bailey's done that for us in games or down here at the state tournament, but it seems like always on our half of the floor with the ball, with the lead and the ball, you need somebody that can make something happen, extend plays, keep their dribble. And Bailey was kind of weaving in between 3 or 4 at a time. And I mean, she's obviously a special player for a reason. And I don't know, I think we did an awesome job of milking 2 minutes there. And, you know, as juniors and sophomores, I don't know if we do that. Seniors, definitely the composure to finish it.
Congratulations. That is 3 championships in 4 years for Coach Greg Barrett and the Blue Hawks. We'll hear from the ladies when we come back from the Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln.
Education quest, take 4.
Why do you want to go to college?
I get to figure out what I want to do with my life.
Independence, living on your own.
I need to prepare myself for the future.
What's your biggest challenge in going to college?
Probably the hardest part is the application.
Deciding where I want to go.
College is a little scary. It's a lot harder and a lot more work.
The financial side of it is really confusing.
So what if you had a friend you could ask?
This is a growing corn plant. It's not battery-powered. It doesn't have a 300-mile range, but it's vital in our fight against climate change. Reducing 46% of carbon emissions and producing clean-burning ethanol. Corn ethanol is the climate solution we need now.
That's getting cut down for another state championship. That's Bailey Kissinger cutting down. We're joined backstage by her now. Talk about late in the game. You want that ball in your hand. What is it about that moment that makes you thrive?
I think just getting down towards the end of the game, everyone on our team wanted it so bad. And I think just having stepped up and made those free throws against Crofton in the semifinals, I knew that I could do it again. And I just knew that whoever had the ball in the hands at the end, we trusted everybody to go make free throws. Like Shay had a great chance there too. I mean, we trust everybody in those situations. And personally, I want the ball in my hands in those situations, but whoever hands it gets to, I'm confident in everybody, and we're all confident in each other as a group too.
3 and 4 years. What's that say about this group of seniors?
I mean, it's crazy. We've been watching St. Cecilia teams go to state since we were younger, just cheering in the stands, and to just win 3 out of 4, it's awesome. And I'm just so proud of my seniors and and there's nothing greater that could have happened. And I'm just so thankful of the legacy that we've left here.
Bailey, congratulations. I'm going to let you hand the trophy off to Shay. We're going to bring in Shea Butler, who had 9 points, 11 rebounds, an outstanding game. Talk about, this group of seniors here. 102 wins. You've played with them probably since you were, knee-high, right? What's this mean for you and these seniors?
It means so much. We've worked so hard all season for this. We've worked since we're playing ball with our parents. They're coaching us, and we've just been a tight group through all these years. And I just think that this proves that how hard we've worked, and it's just crazy.
How gratifying is it? You lost last year, right? I mean, you won 2 in a row. You lost last year to come back and close it out your senior year.
Yeah, we were really hungry for this win, for this moment, and I think that really motivated us. It did motivate us in practice, in other games. We just wanted it to be our turn. Yep.
All right, we're going to let you hand the trophy off, and we're going to bring in Addie Kierkegaard. There was a time in this game where we thought Addie Kierkegaard might be done, and that was early on. Talk about that. We saw you on the bench there, kind of heartbroken. What were you feeling? What happened there?
I just really didn't want to let my team down. I wanted to be able to be in there and helping out, but thanks to Ryan, she stepped up and she really held her own, and I'm so glad she did.
Yeah. Such a great group of seniors, right? I mean, you have 3 other seniors along with yourself that have played together forever. What does this mean to you to win the state title in your last year?
It's surreal. We wanted to go out on our terms, and we did. We got the win after losing last year, which made us all come together and just want it more and fight harder.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
Yeah.
Congratulations on a state championship. That's 3 in 4 years for the Blue Hawks. They are state champs once again. The final 40-34. Andy will be back to wrap it up along with Kara when we come back.
Constellation is a natural gas supplier helping inspire young Nebraskans through hands-on learning. Constellation has given more than $290,000 to 4-H and FFA organizations across the state, helping support youth in your community with opportunities to achieve real-world success. Because we believe that powering communities means empowering our future leaders. With Constellation, a contribution to 4-H and FFA is in the stars.
Participating in multiple Nebraska high school activities has taught me the value of teamwork.
I learned how to be a strong leader among my peers.
We set goals as a team and work hard to accomplish them.
I strive to excel not only in the classroom, but on the playing field.
The Nebraska School Activities Association providing opportunities in 25 activities for our member high schools. NSAA activities, the other half of education.
Coverage of the 2022 NSAA High School Basketball Championships on Nebraska Public Media is made possible in part by the Nebraska Soybean Board, Education Quest Foundation, the Nebraska Public Power District, and Nebraska Kubota Dealers. A big thank you to all of our sponsors who help us bring you the best high school athletes from across the state. We couldn't do it without your support.
Hastings St. Cecilia knocking off Bridgeport 40-38, girls Class C2 state championship. Kara Graham, let's put a bow on this one. What's your parting shot?
Well, my takeaway is Kissinger with 17 points, going to be a great future loper, and just the experience of St. Cecilia. I feel like we've said this a lot over this weekend, but Bridgeport will be back. They have great young kids coming back, and I think they'll be back here again.
A great career for all those St. Cecilia seniors, 102 wins. Congratulations to the Blue Hawks on their championship. Still basketball ahead. We've got a heavyweight fight coming up next. Class A boys, Bellevue West, Millard North, followed by Parkview Christian and St. Mary's in the D2 boys state championship. Kara, it's been a pleasure. Awesome working with you. We got more basketball ahead as we finish off this championship Saturday from Pinnacle Bank Arena. Congratulations to the Hastings St. Cecilia girls basketball team, their third title in the last 4 years, 7th in school history. They knock off the Bridgeport Bulldogs 40-38 for the Class C2 state championship.
This week on Nebraska Stories, we travel to Grand Island, where the circus isn't down every day of the week.
Seemed like the more cars went up, more people would stop.
More than 200 firefighters from 4 states come to the Wildcat Hills to fight fire with fire. There's more to hear than just the crack of the bat at the College World Series. These stories and more on Nebraska Stories, Thursday night at 8 Central on Nebraska Public Media.